I just watched a Charles Payne interview with the Marine with Mike. And look, I just want to start by saying again, because I just want to keep repeating this, that I think Mike did a great effort. You know, he said that there were 75, 80 people there. Now, this is when he was being interviewed by Charles Payne. He said there were 75 because there's been all these different speculations. Some people say there were 20 people. Some people says there were 100 people. This guy, Pirate Jack, he told me there were 700 people. Well, he confirmed that there were 75 to 80 people there. And, you know, they talked about all the standard things in the interview, that Citadel made $16 billion. The retail investor lost $350 billion. Will the SEC ever do anything, you know, besides a little slaps on the wrist? You know, we know about what happened with South Korea with the $11 billion fine on Citadel, which actually only equates to about 9 million US, which really is a slap in the wrist for Citadel. That's a parking ticket. And, you know, the Marine stood his ground and he's like, you know, that's why we're here, Charles. You know, we're here because we're tired of it. We want a fair Wall Street. It hasn't been fair for years. And he spoke very intelligently and I give him credit. But unfortunately, I just don't think anybody really understands that you have to take into account what we're fighting against. You're fighting against Citadel, who has whatever you want to call them, corrupt, whatever you want to call them, okay? It doesn't change the fact they have over $50 billion in assets. Ken Griffin is probably one of the most successful people in the history of the financial sector. Citadel is the most successful hedge fund. So I always like to use the analogy. I just made a live stream. Imagine like we were fighting Mike Tyson. Now, I'm not talking about Mike Tyson of today, who's still very strong, by the way. I'm talking about Mike Tyson in his prime, when he was like 20 years old in the 80s. The guy was unstoppable, right? Does anyone feel that they could have beat Mike Tyson? Like, say it in the comments. Be like, yeah, I think I could have beat Mike Tyson in his prime. Okay. So you might be like, where are you going with this? How do you expect to beat Ken Griffin, who's got $50 billion in assets, right? Who's probably connected to God only knows who else. I like to call it the Illuminati. I like to call it the New World Order. Okay, the corrupt 1%. Who knows how far this goes? Who knows how many devils we're fighting? How do you expect to beat him? By having 75 to 80 people show up with a megaphone? And, you know, and say, we're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. It's not enough. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of people are upset at me and disappointed. They're like, you know, you're negative Nancy. No, it's called being realistic. So my idea, which you could read in the description, to acquire AMC is not just about acquiring AMC. See, people don't fully understand my idea. Okay? It's to raise billions, and I'm talking tens of billions, to compete against Citadel. We have to have a level battlefield. In other words, if you're going to fight Mike Tyson, you have to be just as strong as he is. You have to be trained just as well as he is. You have to be on a level playing field. That's the thing. So that's step one. That is what step one is to get to a point where we can compete against Citadel. Now, the thing is, we actually have enough people in our movement to accomplish that. There is rumors that there's up to 10 million AMC apes worldwide. Could you imagine if every one of them put up 5,000? That's 50 billion. We'd have the same amount of money Ken Griffin has. Now we can compete. Not just about buying AMC. Not just about firing Adam Aron and firing the board of directors, but competing against the world's most corrupt, powerful people on earth. You can't do that with 75 people with a signs and a megaphone. I'm sorry, you can't. Look, God bless the Marine. Good effort. I love you, brother. Kudos for being on Charles Payne. Unfortunately, not enough to get the job done. My idea is enough to get the job done. Okay, my idea is big. You understand? To form a powerhouse. That's what I'm talking about. To actually be able to have a level playing field to compete against the corruption. And we could all do it. It starts with just an email. That's it. No money, not a solicitation for an investment, no money. An email. Okay, here is my email address. Richard, RICHARD, L as in Larry, E as in Edward, 101 at gmail.com. Let me repeat that. Richard, RICHARD, L as in Larry, E as in Edward, 101 at gmail.com. Simply send me an email. I'm in. Let me accumulate millions and millions of apes. So I'm looking to go big or go home. Okay. Let me then hire the most prestigious law firm to make all of this legal, whether it be a private placement, whatever the case may be. You'll be able to review all of the documentation with your lawyer, and let's compete on a fair playing ground, because we got to think big. We're going up against the most richest, powerful, in my opinion, corrupt people. I have to say alleged to protect myself, but I feel they're all corrupt. But they're powerful and they're rich. We got to be on a leveled playing field. That's it. Other than that, we can't win. Because I'm trying to give you the analogy. It's like being in the ring with Mike Tyson at his prime, when you're not in good shape, you're not at your prime, and you do not have the talent, the ability, or any skill to even last 10 seconds with the guy. You're going to get pulverized. You're going to get knocked out. That's what's happening in Wall Street. That's what's happening with AMC. We got to first get to the level where we could equally compete. Then we got a chance. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. This video is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. This video and all my videos are for entertainment purposes only, because that's who I am, the world's greatest entertainer. The one and only Apefather in the house, baby. What?